definitely have to find the compromise and the in between. When my husband wasn't very religious when they were growing up. I mean, yeah, they had baptismals, they had this and that because he was raised in the Catholic Church. But there were a few things that I wanted to make sure that the girls knew about his culture, that I myself diverse myself and engross myself into studying about it so that I knew enough that I could actually have conversations with the girls about this culture. And I ended up teaching all three of the girls when they were in, I think, first grade. I actually went into their classroom and taught their whole class about Las Posadas at Christmas time and about the legend of the poinsettia and how the poinsettia came about, because a lot of people think that the poinsettia or poinsettias are from the US, but they're actually from Mexico. They're a native species of Mexico and it's brought over by a US senator, I believe. His name was Robert Poinsett, and that's why they named it poinsettia. But I always made sure that the girls knew about the special holidays, like the quinceañeras. They had, that's when a girl turns 15. They had a choice of whether or not they wanted a sweet 16 party, which is US, we have sweet 16s. And in the Catholic or the Mexican traditions, they had quinceañeras when they turn 15. It's like showing that they're not young, they're not babies anymore, that they're young adults, young women.
Right.
And so they got to choose that. They got to see how much was involved in planning it. They got to choose basically what they wanted to celebrate and what they didn't want to celebrate, because I didn't want to force anything on them, because I feel like when you force culture on somebody, that's when people are got their, especially if there's two different cultures clashing, that's when people get their backs up against the wall. But I was like, here are some of the greatest things about it. Like I can recall my husband sitting in the kitchen at Christmas time, and there's a thing called buñuelos, and it's basically it's tortillas, and you just fry them in oil, and then you cover them with cinnamon and sugar. But my
Mhm.
girls absolutely loved that at Christmas
Probably.
time. And yeah,
Sounds
because
good.
they were in the kitchen with their dad, and they were, he was showing them how to do it. They would do this the sugar and the cinnamon together, and they would dip, and they would have the best time together. But we made sure that we brought some of the cultural things in. And like at Christmas, we traditionally have a Christmas dinner, but Christmas Eve now has become where my husband cooks sopes, which is like it's hard to describe. It's like a corn bowl that you can actually eat, but it's like really like soft. It's so good, and it has carne asada and beans and all this cilantro and stuff and everything. And we always had that Christmas Eve now because we incorporated that into our celebration.